Hey everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about my journey into minimalism and what it means to me. Now some people, when you think about being a minimalist, you think about having to get rid of everything you own, paint all your walls white, and have nothing sitting around, and own just enough plates and silverware to feed you and whoever lives with you, and have the bare minimum for furnishings. There are some people that choose that lifestyle, and that's great. You know, they are leaving like no carbon footprint, and kudos to them for being able to do that. I'm not there. That's not what my end goal is. Obviously, with the tiny house craze, you can classify that as minimal living as well. But for me, it's a little more subtle. When I started the decluttering process here in my small apartment, it was a bit difficult at first, but once I started progressing and I got my first box, it was like a momentum kicked in and I didn't know when to stop. So I have, oh my goodness, I should have counted before I started this video, but I'm gonna guess a minimum of 15 boxes and or bins currently in the garage ready for a yard sale. Now I am going to be having a yard/garage sale with my stepsister and my mother at my stepsister's house the third weekend in July. And obviously anything that I do not sell, I'm going to donate to the Salvation Army. But a lot of the stuff I'm getting rid of does have some value to it, so I don't just want to donate it. If I can make a few bucks on it, I'm going to. Also, if you've shopped at Goodwill and Salvation Army, it may be different in different areas of the world. But I know with ours, like I've gone in there looking for clothes recently, some of it I consider kind of expensive compared to what I'm selling stuff for a yard sale. So I'm thinking the stuff I'm getting rid of, people are actually going to spend less money, and it looks a lot nicer than the stuff that is at our local Goodwill and Salvation Army. Anyway, so how did I decide what to get rid of? Well, I started by going not so much room to room, but more areas. Like I started with wardrobe, and I asked myself basic questions. With the wardrobe, do I love the item? Do I love how it makes me look? And do I love how I feel when I wear it? Or is it one of those items where it's just not comfortable? I have to fidget with myself constantly. I have to worry about how I sit in it. And as soon as I was able to answer yes or no based on those questions, I knew immediately whether to keep the item or to put it in a box to sell. So the wardrobe was kind of easy. When I started on other areas of the house, then I kind of went through like closets, storage in my garage, and just took things like either a shelf at a time or a box at a time. And as far as actual things like not clothing, actual things that you use and or sit around, or decorations or what have you, I would ask myself 3 basic questions as I was looking at the item. And this process can take a while if you do it my way. It has taken a while. I've been working on this for months, and I don't work outside the home. So I can only imagine how hard this would be for someone who is working a full-time job and trying to do this in a couple hours each night. Anyway, so the questions that I asked myself about each individual item was, first of all, does this item have sentimental value to me? If it's yes, I'm hanging on to it for now. Number 2, do I use this item on a regular basis? If it's yes, I'm going to keep it because I use it. Otherwise, if I get rid of it, I'm just going to have to go out and replace it again. So if I use it regularly, I keep it. And then number 3, does that item bring me joy or happiness? And that's kind of an off-the-wall question. So, for example, pictures of my family in picture frames. Well, I have a ton of picture frames downstairs just stored in boxes, where when I lived in bigger homes, I would have the big gallery walls. So I had all the photos with all pictures of the family in. So obviously they're not sentimental, the frames aren't, but the pictures inside are. When I was able to display the photos all over the wall, that brought me joy and happiness. So what I did is I took the pictures out. I'm getting rid of the frames. I don't have the space where I live now to have a gallery wall. So I'm not going to keep hanging on to the stuff. I've been here for over a year now. Chances are we're going to be here for a few more years yet. We're not moving anywhere in Pennsylvania again. When we move one more time, it is hopefully going to be to where we are going to stay, and it's going to be in a state that we want to live in, which is down south. So I could be here for several years. We could be here till Mike retires, which is 20 years. You know, I don't know what the future holds. So I'm choosing not to hang on to the things, to let them go. So that was the 3 questions that I asked when I decided whether to keep items or get rid of items. For example, I went through all of my holiday decorations. I quit decorating for Easter and Halloween when the kids went to college. It just wasn't into it anymore. I still would decorate for autumn and for Christmas, and I still have. I mean, even if you watch the videos from last winter, you'll see my autumn house tour, my Christmas house tour. But when I started on this journey and I started to dive into the minimalism lifestyle, I started questioning why I keep doing this year after year after year. Not that it's not pretty, not that I think it's a ton of work, it's hard to explain. It really is. I think what started it was when I started on the gratitude list every day and I started being thankful for everything I have, it made me want things less. Does that make sense? Like, I literally don't want things and clutter in my life. And if I have to have 5 or 6 bins of decorations to decorate my house in the winter, I don't want to have space to store stuff. I want everything I own to be out around me all the time, and I don't want that hidden clutter. So when I was going through the Christmas stuff, I've been one of those people to do themed trees, different every year. I do a different theme. I still have all the ornaments of like stuff that was out when the kids were little, like all the Sesame Street collector ornaments that I got from I don't think it was the Franklin Mint, but one of those. And then I have ornaments that are strictly from places that we've traveled, where when I would go somewhere, I would buy a Christmas ornament from wherever city or town or country we were in. Couple years I did all blue and silver on my tree. Some years I did all red and gold on my tree. Last year I did all silver and gold. So I have tons of ornaments. I also have a artificial tree that I strictly did the old-fashioned big lights on it, and I have all vintage ornaments that belong to both of my grandmothers, along with some ornaments to fill in that looked vintage. So when I was making the decision what to get rid of as far as that kind of stuff goes, I decided to use those questions and keep the stuff that had sentimental value, like the ornaments from when my children were babies, like the ornaments from my travels, and like the ornaments that belonged to my grandmothers. All those other ornaments that I bought at like Walmart and Target, guess where they're at? They're in the box to sell. So once I started that and made that decision of what to keep and what to get rid of, it was like, bam, why didn't I do this long ago? I know some people if you ask yourself that question, does this item bring me joy? I know there may be a lot of you out there that, especially with the holidays, the decorating of your home brings you extreme joy. And sitting in your house after it's all decorated is extremely joyful. I get it. Christmas is my favorite time of year, and I loved sitting in my living room every morning with nothing on but the Christmas tree lights and snuggling with my dog and playing on my iPad with all my Christmas stuff around me. Yes, it brought me joy too. This is just one way though that I've decided that I just don't want to deal with the other 11 months out of the year having the stuff just sitting and not being used. Let somebody else use it. So, excuse me. So that is how I started on my minimalist journey and the 3 questions that I asked when I had to make the decision on what to keep and what to get rid of. So I've done it with the home decor, I've done it with the seasonal decorations, I've done it with my wardrobe, I even did it with my jewelry. I even got rid of a ton of jewelry, which enabled me to get rid of a necklace holder that was sitting on my dressers. And it makes it easier now to get ready in the morning. I don't have, 100 pair of earrings to decide which to wear. I have like 10. So bam, 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 I'm ready in no time. The less you have to pick from, the quicker you can make a decision. That's just kind of common sense. I even pared down my makeup collection. And I have a basic look that I go for with my eyes. Sorry, my camera battery cut out. I wish I could minimalize the batteries and have one that would just last forever. Anyway, when I started getting rid of all that stuff and had less to choose from, it really was a sense of freedom. It felt like physically I was lighter by not having all the things. With my issues with the OCD as well, it has really helped. And I am going to do a separate video on my OCD and how my surroundings affect my brain, because I could stretch this out like forever. So yes, I will do a separate video on that. So that is where I'm going to end this video today. So if you are starting a decluttering process or a minimalism journey, there's your 3 questions to help you decide, what am I going to keep and keep close to my heart, and what am I going to let go of and let someone else enjoy and get it out of my life. So I will talk to you soon. Have a great day, and I'm off to the dentist now. Bye.